Low Cs tend to be far less concerned with doing it the right way. They just want to get it done. They're pretty unsystematic and independent. So what's causing them stress? All these rules, all the detail. Like if you ask them to be too detailed or too much precision being required in the work that we're asking them to do, asking them too many questions, or sometimes just asking them to respond to too many questions. Like it's just too much. And it's actually a stressful situation for them when they feel like their mistakes are viewed by others as a failure. Because most low Cs look at their mistakes as opportunities to learn, as like taking them to something, to that next step where they actually achieved a great breakthrough. Like they have a very different view of mistakes. And in an environment where those mistakes are equated to personal failure, it can be really stressful for them. How do they behave? How do we know if they're under stress? Well, sometimes they're taking even more risks than they would before. They do ignore important details because they just get really overwhelmed by all of the details that they'll start ignoring or overlooking them. And this is another one that can tend to act out in another one of their extreme DISC styles. So for instance, if you're a low C and a high I, and if you're feeling really stressed, then sometimes what can happen is your high I becomes like ultra mega super high. So now not only are you enthusiastic and talkative, but you are so enthusiastic and talkative that you're probably driving everyone around you absolutely batty. How can we help relieve stress? Well, look for those areas that you do have freedom, where you can make choice. Recognize it, live in it, get creative in it. Find those opportunities. And even for those of us that have high or low Cs in our life, like where can we focus also on the result that was achieved, not just the process by which they went to achieve it. Focus on the big picture. And one of the things that Sherry said when we were coming up with this, and I loved this idea, she's like, just dream with me. Like, what if you could have a conversation with a friend, with someone that you live with your students, right? When all this is over, what do you want to do? What's the first day of your release from quarantine gonna look like, right? Where do you want to go? What do you want to visit, right? Like really being able to get super creative and really dream and step outside of sometimes current circumstances. That's a huge stress relief for low Cs.